Hello again. This is Natalie Kimbrough from Healing Isis, and I want to welcome you all to another exciting We Uplift moment with Nicola Karesh, Jamaican poet and cat lover. Let me put it that way. Nicola, we've talked before, and today I just want to ask you a little bit about Jamaica. I remember an amazing webinar you did, which is, as we just remembered, Jamaica
Mm-hmm.
to the World, where you
Yes.
had information about food, you shared poetry, you talked about writing. So, what is your connection to Jamaica and your poetry, and how do you want to share all of that with the world?
Oh my gosh.
Small
That's
questions, right?
I could go in lots of directions, but I mean, the most obvious is, I mean, that's where I was born and
Hmm.
I lived there till I was 18. My family still lives there, so I go back home regularly.
And you
As
share
often
wonderful pictures every time you
as
come back.
yes. And the pictures, I mean that's my first hang on a minute. I connect with the mountains in Jamaica. I mean, we have the wonderful beaches, but the
Hmm.
mountains stand out for me.
Wow.
The house where I lived, there was a like a 360 with
Hmm.
the mountains, or the
Wow.
mountains to the side, and way off in the distance, there was a picture of the harbor where you could
Hmm.
see the sea. So nature, was a big part of my upbringing.
Hmm.
Um,
It's funny when I think of Jamaica, mountains are probably the last thing that comes to my mind. So that's
mhm.
that's that's really interesting. That means you were always ready to climb the mountains, right?
I love the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
I adore the mountains. There's something about that energy and just the visual
Mm-hmm.
that makes me feel like I'm home.
Mm.
And when I started thinking of doing a nature retreat there or a writer's retreat, and immediately I was like, the Blue Mountains, I have to go there. You
Yeah.
know, I wanted that feeling.
Mm-hmm. So will you do it?
I definitely am going to do it.
Because
I
I
don't
remember
have all
from,
the pieces.
yeah.
I don't have all the pieces to the retreat. That's kind of how I work sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I allow spirit to kind of give me the information, and
Right.
right now I don't have the whole picture. I have a feeling of what it will be like.
Mm-hmm.
And so the pieces are slowly coming forward that yes, it's Jamaica. Yes, it'll be North Carolina. Yes, the surroundings are a big part because you want to
Mm-hmm.
feel that. You want to feel that. You want to
Right.
feel the spirit of the place.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Now, when you're saying, I'm going to just talk a little bit more about the writing retreat before I go back to Jamaica. When you're saying writing retreat, will you teach people how to write, or will it be more like spirit writing, where everybody writes or draws what they're inspired to?
I think it will be, it has the feeling of me in there.
Mm-hmm.
And, people ask me, how do I write? Do I sit down? Do I do a structured? No, I don't. I don't do it that way.
Yeah,
I
me
kind
neither.
of, I open to life. I open to divine spirit, God, whatever you want to call it, and I allow it to direct me.
Mm-hmm.
So it will be me sharing that way with people. And
Mm-hmm.
so opening to nature, being in nature,
Right.
experiencing that, taking quiet time, the connection we'll make with each other,
Mm-hmm.
the wonderful fellowship, the food, the energy of the place, that will all go into the pot that will inspire us to write,
Mm-hmm.
to draw, to be.
And you just said
Yeah.
something very important. You said food. I mean, food is a very cultural and also, in many ways, a spiritual thing. You know, whatever goes into preparing a food can be very spiritual. And I remember in the webinar that you did about Jamaica, Jamaica to the world, you had a number of really interesting sounding recipes and even some, I would say, trick questions for the
Yeah.
participants. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I know it was a huge success. So, other than the nature retreat, will you do another one of those Jamaica to the world or introducing Jamaica in different ways to the world, webinars or events?
I, if I even if I said no, I have lots of Jamaican friends who are pushing me to
Mm-hmm.
do that. You know, ones that live there and ones that live abroad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, feeling like it's an important piece that I do actually do want to do. I do want to do it.
Well, I think
You
it
know,
also when you do it, it's such a well-rounded connection. You know, number one, you are from there, but because you bring all that spiritual and awakened process and your poetry to it, I think it's really usually much more than one of those tourist shows. I mean, when you did the
hmm
Jamaica to the world, it was so inspiring because you had all the poetry coming in and out, and
mm,
one could really relate to it. So I'm just gonna stump you again, like I love to do to
I'll
everybody.
go
But
ahead,
you know,
Natalie.
I'm thinking if you still have the link for the webinar that we did, why not share it again on your Facebook page so you can get more feedback from people, and maybe then you already know where to go with it and see what other people also know or don't know about Jamaica. Because I think there are a lot of misconceptions, and you love it so much. So
hmm
why not put it
That's
out again?
why not? That's a great suggestion, and I will. Um,
Okay.
my original
Mm-hmm.
vision when I wanted to do this, I
Right.
it wasn't just me talking about my experience of Jamaica. It
Mm-hmm.
was me along with other Jamaican artists,
Right.
poets, photographers, writers,
Mm-hmm.
even people who aren't any of those who may have a story they want to
Right.
share or something they want to say about the food, but it was a
Mm-hmm.
collective effort. So I do want to do that again.
Yeah, and I think it's really the way that you've done it and the way that you do everything is with that spiritual and heart-centered approach. So I think that comes across very well. So I hope you're going
Oh,
to
thank you.
repost it, and I hope you're going to do
I
another
will.
one soon. You know, we'll all help you because we,
Ah,
we want to be there and know more about Jamaica or even go on a retreat to Jamaica. You never know.
absolutely.
So, Nicola, I want to thank you. I want to let everybody know that you'll be posting this event, and then hopefully everybody will
Hi,
also
little one.
everybody will also connect with you. Apologies,
Hi,
on
little
Facebook
one.
soon. She just wanted to say, "I want to come to Jamaica."
She wanted to be in this video.
Yes, well, she sort of is, you know.
Yes, she is. She is.
So, Nicola, I want to thank you again for always inspiring us, and I'm looking forward to another Jamaica event and anything else that you do. It's always such a pleasure. Thank you,
Thank you, Natalie.
and we'll talk again soon.
Bye.